Morning, guys. It's early this morning. It's 8 o'clock. This is this is July 24th. And on July 21st, we had a flash flood. And you can see behind me that it was up really high and the force of the water was amazing. Fortunately, yes, we have water in the basement, but it's a disaster zone. In West Virginia, due to the flash flooding, our town is a mess and people have lost complete homes. We found out this morning no loss of lives here in our county, in Upshur County nearby, that also had the flooding. There were two, but there are people without homes, without power, without water, without heat, without their homes, their livelihood. There's every business in town. We've all heard of this. We've watched other disasters, but when it hits your home, it's
Yeah,
it's a little emotional, whether it's just your gardens or your basement, but I can't imagine the whole home. Sorry about that. But so what we're talking about is what you're going to see is the progression of the flood. I mean, it came so quickly. We've lived here 33 years and it's equal to the 85 flood. But people who lived here in 85, which is my neighbor, and she had a lot of basement issues this year too, it came up quicker and faster. And so what we're going to talk about this morning is this is the aftermath. This is what it looks like 3 days later. And the mud is a big issue. And what we won't do, we're not going to hurry on to anything. The number one thing we're going to do is just start washing the plants. But take a look at these videos of when it started, how deep it got, and where we are today.
The rain just started so hard, and we just didn't know that it was going to linger on. This is about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was pouring. And we just couldn't believe if it was like 15, 20 minutes later, look how quickly it rose. And it continued to rise so quickly that we decided we needed to get into that basement. So we hurriedly started moving things up into the upper part of the house, Reggie's furniture pieces, because we knew at this point it's going to come into that basement. We just didn't know how deep it would get. So we felt good about getting things up on cans and bringing things upstairs that could have been more damaged, which was a great thing to have done. I've never seen it this high. In 85, it was in the house. I mean, you can't even see the tree I planted, and you can't see crap. Everything's underwater. And the whole neighborhood is underwater. Neighbors. So we probably have, let me go in this comes up so fast. My neighbor's utility barn. I don't know how deep this is, but we've never seen it this deep. We've been in the basement putting things up. It's just, trees are falling. Oh, gracious. "6 a.m. the day after. Still can't see what's going on. Just mud. Mud everywhere. So you gotta start somewhere, so let's get the mud off of these stairs. So we can get mud off the plants. At least makes a person feel like they're accomplishing something. plants might be able to breathe and the mud doesn't bake on the leaves. Little by little. I can't believe it was up this high. I'd be standing and watching. But, you'll probably be left with really good soil for a while. River sediment. It might even simulate that one glory to bloom. Look on my neighbors. Look, that's how high the water was. And unfortunately, her living space in her gorgeous house in the basement was destroyed. But look at that mud. Anyhow, that's going to be my thought for the day. I'm not going to get very far. What hurts is that red bud was probably destroyed. My only other tree. Anyhow, I'm going to carry on. So it's 11 o'clock in the morning. You can see that we're just left with a lot of mud. I'll stand up here in a second. We have a low spot here, and it always takes a little longer to drain out. We've got some of the Reggie studio cleaned out. Sounds like the pond is, I hear it, and I can see a little dribble down there, but dang, it's a muddy mess. Look how high it got up into the tree. Harry Lauder walking stick. All of that is mud. And that's my eastern redbud that's been broken down by that fence and the power of the water. I didn't lose the blues, but that's all mud in the yard. Good gravy. Good gravy. Oh, good, our chairs. We didn't lose our nice black chair back in there. I'll get up here. There's one chair that once we get things cleaned up, we'll be able to sit in. And the chandelier, oh my word, it's full of mud. That's how high it got, people. You could just see the peak of the little pergola. Up early. Crawdad's up early. I'm gonna try, and I really want to get down to see if I can. I don't know. Oh, the mud is so thick. I'm gonna try and just start washing some things off. I'm gonna try and shovel some of this mud so I can just do something, you know? Do a little something. It's early morning. It still is beautiful. The sky looks beautiful. The potential's there. The pond is still running and muddy. Oh, Lord. It's good to get down here and realize how thick this mud is. I guess it'll be good for the soil. But anyhow, guys, today's the day I'm going to spend an hour out here and then go back and wash out the basement. So up early, just rinsing the mud off of plants again. Again, it just makes me happy. But dang. It's thick mud. Here we go. I can't, this is probably as far as I can walk in there today because of the mud until it dries up. But it just looks brighter already with some water on the clean and off. Maybe it can rise up. There's some white echinacea that would be nice to have it looking clean. They might thank me for it. That's lambs here with a coat of mud. I don't know. Am I crazy? Tell me I'm crazy.
Oh, this is really what's bothering me. The Harry Lauder walking stick. See where the mud level is? We were covered up. If I can get that off, it will make this area look green. That's what I'm doing. Probably this is as far as I get today. It's both sides of the garden from the steps. Yeah.
Isn't that shocking? It's amazing how fast it came up, and it went down within that the next day. I don't know what time it was by the flood started like at 4 in the afternoon. It started raining. By 6 or 7, it was coming through the basement, and then we stayed up all night because we didn't know when it was going to crest. And it was on a few steps coming upstairs, but none of it's okay. We're okay. Um, but what I'm going to start today, and I started a while back, you can see that a lot of these plants, like the Caryopteris, and as far as my hose would go, I showed you me hosing off the stairs, thinking I could get into the garden, but it was so muddy. But what you have to do is you have to start washing the mud off of your plants so they can breathe. That's my number one beginning today. And I was able to get down. And you want to put boards down so you don't compact the soil once you're in your gardens. But I couldn't even stand on those because the mud was so slick and slimy. But I did, start washing some of the mud off of the Harry Lauder tree. You can see the mud line there. And getting the water off the plants is my number one goal. In the next day or two, I have a girlfriend coming tomorrow. But you have to wear rubber gloves. Found a pair of rubber boots, the last pair, because it's over top of my small rubber shoes that I have. So I'm gonna start out. My plan is to get down in the garden, start hosing things off. I do have a sump pump that I can put in the river, but electric, we used to have electric down there on that fence and by the tree, and that's all ripped out.
Yeah.
So I've got an extension cord here that I'm going to use. That's my first plan. The next plan is you do not cut any of your plants off. The ones that at the far end that have been mudded on for 3 days, even if they don't bounce back, like you can see that pink phlox, you don't cut anything off because you can transfer disease. And you want to see what really is going to live or die. And you give them a few days of recovery and see what they're doing. You don't want to compact the soil. You want to gently take, I want to take the first layer that looks dry off of the muddy areas. You don't want to be compacting it in your soil. And what you can do too is once you get that off and you get things hosed off, if there's any roots exposed, I have a compost pile. And I Googled, once I get the mud off the top of the compost pile, I can use my compost. It has good organic matter, and it has the microbes that you want to put back into your soil, because some things will have leached out due to all of the water that came through. You may even want to use something organic like plant tone across everything, but nothing that could burn your plants. I may not even do any of that, but when it comes to fertilizing, I just want to get it washed, the mud off, and get the fence. That's a red bud tree under the fence, and it reminds me of Wizard of Oz when you saw the Wicked Witch with her feet sticking out from under where she was caught. And it looks like it's still alive. And I keep telling myself, maybe once we get the fence off, which isn't going to be an easy thing because I've not walked down there, maybe the tree will just bounce up. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
Maybe the roots just bent a little bit, but that's just thinking, right? One of our chairs is left. So that's my plan, basic cleanup, get everything washed off, then start researching who's going to live, who's going to die. I'm not going to cut anything off. This is going to be weeks and weeks of recovery in your garden. So you don't want to get frustrated. The last thing we'll do is the pond, because it's crawdads and it's mud, but that's the least of your worries when you have. And it's not a worry because plants are resilient, and there are people who are a lot worse off. But just to get things looking alive again will help your garden and the gardener who's looking at it, because it's like so hard to look at for Reg and I. It was, it's our lives. He lost, many art pieces. His studio was in the basement. Yeah. And we rushed. We were waiting water, getting things upstairs because he has a big show. Our upstairs, we wonder how everything that's upstairs of his art pieces could fit in the basement. So we've been able to clean out a lot of things. It's forced you to just toss out and make room. Like he said, Teresa, he's got a very positive attitude. Because I said, I'm not going to plant anything back. I'm going to cut everything and put it in grass seed. I'm too old, 72 years. I'll never see the plants grow to full size. I'll never see the tree. Now that's stupid. So, 4 days later, it's stupid. I'll go dig a big tree, or you know what? I'll buy a bigger tree if I have to replace the red bud. And he said he'll just start all over piece by piece. So it's not easy. Everyone goes through things like this. And I'm just telling you, I'm focusing on the garden, and I'll keep you posted too, because I'll do steps and steps and then show you if it worked, if it didn't work, and if these boots stay on my feet and not end up,
Stuck in the mud.
So guys,
Yeah.
just stay tuned. I don't know what videos will turn out, but you'll be able to see the progress. The neighbors, the community. We have so many people. A young man's going to help us move out our washer and dryer and stuff there in the basement, and then another man came by and said, "I'll help Reggie, get that fence off, and maybe we can just redo it." But that's not a priority. I just want to save my new the blues. It doesn't even look blue; it looks brown.
That's brown.
Evergreen tree,
Your
my
brown
spruce, and I want those little. I want all the leaves to be breathing, because I'm still breathing. So, guys, thanks for watching. Gardening on the West Fork, not really gardening, just cleaning up the flood mess. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.